Now, it was about this time yesterday that we broke the news that Harry and Meghan had been involved in a near-catastrophic car chase. Or at least that's what they claimed. As the afternoon went on, we found out that their version of events might not have been totally accurate. The mayor of New York said he found it hard to believe that there'd been a 2-hour car chase in New York City. The NYPD described the Sussex's journey as challenging, which isn't quite the same, is it, as near catastrophic. And finally, the actual taxi driver, who was believed to have been driving Harry and Meghan around a little bit, said that Harry and Meghan's account was exaggerated and that he never felt in danger. But apart from that, they were spot on. Now, we all know that Harry is a member of the most famous family in the world, but I thought, OK, before I go to my guest on this, I wanted to find out if people had any idea what Meghan Markle actually does, given that she's just won an award as part of the Women of Vision Awards, yeah? So I took to the streets of London earlier to ask the public that very question.
She's famous by association.
Who are we talking about? Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what she does?
Oh, yes.
What is it?
Well, I mean, yeah, as you said, famous by association. She's the wife of Prince Harry.
She does a lot from what I can tell.
Go on.
What that is, I wouldn't really quite know.
Do you know what Meghan Markle does?
Wow. Other than, you know, marry one of the royal family, now not royal, I couldn't tell you. Oh, no, she was an actress before, wasn't she?
She was. I guess she's...
She does, like, blogging and the Netflix stuff and the Duchess of Sussex stuff.
Yeah. She was living in Toronto, wasn't she, while she was on Suits?
Her profile really rose with the royal family, and it's not clear what she had before that or since, now that she's seems to have jettisoned that as much as she can.
Well, she just likes doing stuff.
Netflix.
She used to be on TV. She used to be an actress. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what she's doing now.
No.
Probably just chilling in America.
I do not know what she does.
Yeah, there we go. I'm joined in the studio now by Prince Harry's biographer, Angela Levin. Angela, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show yet again.
That's very funny, isn't it?
I wonder whether or not Harry and Meghan's version of reality is just crumbling down around them now. All of their credibility is gone.
Yes, I mean, I think it's been crumbling for quite a long time now. And the more they whine, the more people feel that this is absolutely not right. They're living in a house with 16 bathrooms. They've got 2 children, a girl and a boy. You know, they're by the sea. They've got everything they want. They've got lots of money coming in from all different sources. And yet, their main thing they do is moan and groan. So I think that's what people think they do, basically.
But this exaggeration from yesterday, and it does appear to be a whopper of an exaggeration from this, you know, near catastrophic. We were fearing for our lives. It helped me to visualise what must have happened with my late mother, Diana, and all of this stuff. And then you get the NYPD coming out and going, well, they drove around a little bit and we escorted them. Why exaggerate?
Well, I think they're desperate for publicity, and I think it's become an enormous need for both of them. And it's almost an addiction that they've got to have more and more and more to be important. And they're trying to knock the royal family out of action. They're very, very jealous of Catherine, and they want to keep on going. And I think that's timed with a lot of anger that the royal family haven't responded to their threats and what they've said about them in the way that they wanted. You know, sitting down, spending hours going through every single thing that Harry felt was not fair from a very young age. It's not happened. They've just continued with what they're doing, being dignified. And they're beside themselves how to make an impact.
But doesn't it cast a massive shadow over all of these allegations that they've made before, whether it was in Oprah, whether it was in Netflix, whether it was in Harry's book, Where? Because now you think, why would any of that be true? If you look at a grain of truth, which is that they were in a car or a couple of cars and there was paparazzi around, and it's blown up into this. It just makes you wonder about the rest of it, doesn't it?
Well, you can't trust them. We haven't been able to trust them for a long time, especially not Harry. He used to be a lovely guy when I was interviewing him for the biography, smashing. But since he's been married, he's turned into some very sad, moaning person. And he does exaggerate because he wants to be powerful. He wants to have power. And people just don't believe that they can talk to him even. I know people said to me that the royal family aren't going to say anything to him except about the weather over the coronation. Because you can't, because he has absolutely broken several of senior royals' privacy, while it's now got 7 cases he's running through to blame the Home Office and other papers for invading his privacy. So he's in a terrible mess. Poor thing. I feel sorry for him. I'm very angry with him, but I'm also sorry for him.
Well, this statement initially that came out, it broke yesterday on this show, was from Prince Harry's spokesperson. So it wasn't from Meghan Markle's spokesperson, as we understand it. That was what broke here. And I wonder whether or not it paints, again, this picture of him somewhat being a bit used here, because why would he put something out that was... I mean, this big exaggeration, that to me didn't seem like a particularly, dare I say it, British thing to do, to just kind of shamelessly exaggerate.
Well, Harry does what he's told now. He's been doing what he's told ever since Meghan was around. And if she says, do this, he will do it. He adores her, and he feels that he's there. If you see how he leads her in and leads her out as if she's some very, very precious jewel that he has to look after. But the thing is that the more these untruths are said, the less you can believe him. And they're now made fools of themselves by doing this. I've been asking myself, why go into a yellow taxi? Why arrive with 4 cars behind you full of people to look after you, protection officers, but you come back in a yellow taxi? Why did they at the... with the Queen, where she said that they could have their bulletproof car for the Jubilee. For the Jubilee. And yet they got that. It was dark, and when they came into the right place, they wound the windows down to wave anyone. Anything could have been thrown in. So they have a very sort of strange idea of what's dangerous and what isn't.
You mentioned the Queen there, and I just want to get one thing out of you. This news broke shortly before I came on air, which is about the cost of the funeral being around £162 million. Do you think that's value for money?
I think it is. I mean, she worked for us for 70 years. I think it's very, very worth the money. And I just had a quick look on Encyclopedia how many people live in this country.
Yes.
And it's 69 million.
Yes.
OK? And I think if you work it out, divide by, and I can't do the sums.
No, I mean, I get your
it's
point.
very, very little from each of us. And the whole world came. I mean, what they made on people staying in hotels and eating out and coming around, I think that she deserves anything, really. She was an extraordinary woman, and we should be grateful. And although it sounds a lot, actually, if you split it among everybody, that I think it's fine.
Well, and over the years of service that she's given us and what she's done for this country, and not just her as well, it must be said, Philip and those around them, really, I think that's an absolute snipper. And it is, I would strongly suggest it's one of those very few things where I would say money is absolutely no object when it comes to...
That's right.
Angela, thank you very much.
Thank
Always
you.
a delight and a pleasure.